18 and 80 years of age. You and your business are certain to get a significant amount of exposure, which will equate to an extreme increase in sales. All packages, rates, and sponsorship opportunities are very affordable, so we guarantee that your advertisements will be heard by its intended target market. We even customize packages just for you. Our premier sales staff has several years experience in radio advertising, so you can rest assured and be confident in the capabilities of our team. We pledge first-class service with an even better result. Experience, satisfaction, and competence are guaranteed when you do business with us. Give us a call at 758-457-7488 or email us at caribbeanhitsfm@gmail.com. Make Hits FM your choice today. Tune in to Hits FM every Wednesday from 6 to 10 p.m. and Saturdays from 6 to 11 p.m. It's the Big Country. Right here on Hits 92.1 and 91.1, the Maximum Music Authority, for the most interactive country show on radio. Hits 92.1 and 91.1, the Maximum Music Authority, the Big Country, right here at Hits. The Big Country, right here at Hits. And of course, good morning, folks. Good morning. And welcome back to Man vs. Woman right here at Hits FM 92.1, 91.1 and GVD TV channel 115. And we have to welcome back Flawless. How you doing? Yes. Welcome back.
Good morning, everybody. Let me make sure I'm not muted.
No, you're not
Good
muted
morning.
this morning.
Good morning.
You see, when I give, you see how you are? When I give you the platform to go and do your vibe, you say I mute you. You know? No, she's not muted. You're not muted this morning.
Yeah. It's been a gentleman because I'm sick. Well, I'm not sick. I wasn't well. I wasn't well, guys. I want to thank everybody who actually called in to check on me, because I got a few calls, messages via Facebook as well. So I'd like to thank everybody.
Yeah, I put your business out there. I put your business out there
to check on me. I'm back at work. I'm not 100%, but I'm back here for you guys.
Just like the true soldier you are.
Yes.
And I'm gonna mute you now.
Whatever.
you miss me? Did you miss me? Did you miss us?
Not really. Jules is over there. Jules is over there laughing at you.
Jules is laughing at himself. Let's see if we can find Jules. Let's show Jules' face here on the television. Let everybody see the monkey he is. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Turn around to the camera and wave to everybody, Jules. Good morning, everybody on TV. Good morning to the folks on television. Good morning to the folks. Thank you for bringing us onto your home.
All right.
It's another man versus woman.
Woman versus man. Let's not do that. And thank you to Stephanie and Leah, who's been defending me, especially Leah, because every time you say man versus woman, she corrects you. It's called woman versus man.
She just likes to be heard.
It's no, Leah is speaking the truth.
She just so. I mean, you're off sick.
Yeah.
And I myself, I'm not, 100%.
Yeah.
Who do you think, man versus woman? First question. Who do you think, and why, usually wait till they're ready to die before they go to the doctor?
Wow. I don't think it's a man or woman thing. I think it's a person thing. Like
a person thing.
Yeah, I feel like there are women who wait the last minute. Likewise, there are men who wait the last minute.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with you. I think men do that. We do that. No. We kind of have to, ready to die before we. I mean, mind you, when we get there, we act like little babies, but takes us a while to get there. When a man, especially when he knows he has a serious illness, we run from knowing what the doctor has to say.
True.
But
women do the same.
Women do the same?
A lot of women do that. They don't want to know at all.
Especially when it comes to, things like being checked out, just randomly checked. Go to the doctor and do your random, tests.
Right.
We forget about that. We don't even want to go close to that.
I think now women don't do that anymore. Like it used to be like a more frequent thing where
especially
women
with the whole what do you call it? I just lost my thought. Can you believe it? The woman is making me lose my thought this morning.
I was saying, I feel like before, like it was a more frequent thing where women would go to the doctor, get checked up. That was a must.
Right.
But now I feel like people don't do that anymore.
Especially when it comes to the whole prostate, getting tested, making sure that the prostate's in check.
Or for the women even getting a pap smear.
We cringe at the idea of anybody.
I wonder why.
That one finger.
I wonder
that one finger in a rubber gloves just scares us. Bad.
It's just not a one-time thing, but it's one finger. It's not even two.
No, is it you? Now, for the fellas who are planning to who decide to man up and go and do that, you just change their mind.
Really?
You just completely change their mind. So, anyways, Flawless is back. Give a wave. Give a wave.
I'm back.
Give a wave. Give a wave.
Hi.
All right. And man versus woman. You got another question?
Woman versus man.
I popped the first question.
Something I just want to address, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the mothers out there.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a young daughter, I believe it is very important, and I will stress on how important it is to check on your daughter, to educate her about life and things she should and shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Okay? My reason for bringing this up this morning was brought to my attention about 3 days ago that a young cousin of mine is ill.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I had no knowledge of that she was even into life, if you know what I mean.
Right.
As young as she is.
What's her age?
She just turned 15. But it was brought to my attention that she started off long before that.
Right.
Right? To the point where she is now expecting.
Wow.
And she is sick. She is sick to the point where it is life-threatening, and they told her there's a 50-50 chance. As young as she is.
Mm-hmm.
She has, can I say what she has?
Yeah.
She has cervical cancer.
Wow.
And, it just troubles me. And just going back to what you said about getting checked up, it is very important to, especially young girls nowadays, they're not waiting for marriage or for the right one again. Everybody just rushing into everything. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
As a mother, I think it is very important to educate your child. Furthermore, just bring them for little checkups. It's very important to bring your child to a first pap smear. especially when you know she's sexually active.
Right.
That is very important. And I'm just disappointed in the mother because it's like she doesn't even care. She found out and she left the child in the house and she went where she usually hangs out. And just so all the mothers out there, I believe, it's very important to show the young girls what to do, what not to do, how to act, how not to. And just the fact that going to a doctor every 3 months for a pap smear is very important.
This is something I think that we as a people, West Indians, have struggled with for a long time.
All right.
Mommy, where does the baby come from? Oh, the plane dropped the baby, or the bird dropped the baby, or whatever. Instead of telling the child, I've always been a person to believe that if you're old enough to ask the question, you're old enough to be given an answer.
Yes.
And that answer doesn't have to come in its raw form. You can find ways of showing it to them.
Right.
And that's where we as parents go wrong, because when we don't give these children the right answer, they go and they find answers for themselves.
True. Or when you're not showing them love.
They'll find love somewhere else.
Definitely.
And that's what we need to do. We need to break that cycle. I think that us West Indian parents, we don't get involved enough in the very, very important things in our children's life.
Right.
Just making sure they have food and clothes on their backs and they go to school and all that. That's not enough. Sit with them.
Right.
Talk to them. Teach them about different things.
Exactly.
Their parents today, when children ask them certain questions, they give them the weirdest answers. When these children could actually go on YouTube and on Google. Everything's there. Google is a university,
Right.
You can become a
doctor.
There. You can become a doctor. As a matter of fact, now there are doctors now who, whenever they find a problem and they need a diagnosis, they'll actually go online and see what other doctors are saying about it.
Right.
So why can't you as a parent? But the thing is, the difference between the children finding on their own and the parents telling it to them, it gives a sense of wholeness to it. When your parents sit you down and talk to you about certain things in life, I think it's a lot different than if you go and read about it on the internet, or if you hear one of your friends talk about it, or you ask one of your classmates a question and they give you the answer.
Right.
And sometimes the answers they give you is not even the right answer.
Exactly.
We as parents really need to invest more time in our children, teaching them, the way of life.
Right.
The birds and the bees. What's the birds and the bees? What does the birds and the bees have to do with your child wanting to ask a question about sex or sexual relations?
I feel like when I'm ready to have that talk, if ever I have a child, hopefully, God willing, fingers crossed. Anyways,
but you're old enough now. Kudos to you for holding out this long.
Yeah, I'm just.
But don't you think it's time that you
Yeah, it might happen pretty soon, actually.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
You're thinking about it.
I'm thinking it's been on my mind for a few months.
Take your time, though. People talk
I'm not rushing it.
People talk about the biological clock ticking and all of that. Having a child is almost like having a mortgage.
Right.
Let me tell you why I say that. If you don't have the job to pay for the mortgage, how can you afford to keep it?
Right.
Having a child, if you don't have the stability, the time, the money to support being a mother, how can you be good at it?
Exactly.
So to me, I don't know if it's right, but the same. That's how guys think. That's how men think. We compare it to something hardcore. You can't afford a mortgage if you don't have a job, or you won't get a mortgage if you won't have a job. So why have a child if you're not working, or if you're not mentally or physically ready to have a child?
Exactly.
Just my thought. Man versus woman. Another question.
Yeah.
Why are women always right?
Because we're always right. That's just how it is. There's no discussion. And I always like to have the last word in an argument. The argument finishing, but they think around. Yeah, and they go. Nah, I don't think that's it.
The last word.
I think because women, we know we're right. We're always right. Even when we're wrong,
we're right.
We're right. That's just how it is. Like, there's nothing to debate.
It's just because men decide, look, you know what? This is not worth it for me today. Let me just... You're right.
Exactly.
Be done with it.
Exactly.
Be done with
right.
it. Let's move on.
Whether you like it or whether we're wrong or
and then we laugh at you under our breath.
No, we laugh at you when we say Check Jill's smile.
458-2488 is our number. The phone lines are open now. 721. Well, our WhatsApp call is a little tedious today. It's a little tricky today because we've been doing some work overnight and we weren't able to put the WhatsApp back where it's supposed to be. So we'll take care of that today for tomorrow. But let's try. Let's see if Tamara will call and maybe we might get her call. If we don't, then please, I'm apologizing beforehand.
Right.
So what's your question?
No, I just want to say good morning to Tamara. Tamara actually called to check up on me.
She called you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, she called. It was.
People like you, you know. They might not necessarily love you, but
I got a few calls. I was very surprised. A lot of people reached out.
Half of them they've been zapping. They just want to know your business.
Half of them reached out.
They want to know if you're pregnant. That's what they wanted to know. If you're at home, if you're at home with baby.
Everybody was just like, "What's wrong?" I got a few messages via Facebook. I was very surprised. I wasn't expecting.
And that's because I put your business out.
Yes, it's a good thing you didn't give my number.
Something to think about. lunch on you today.
On you.
And I might consider the next time not to put your number out. I am a black male, right? You get that, huh? You understand? I am a black male.
We both know you're not black.
Huh?
We both know you're not black.
No, I'm blackmailing you. That's it.
You're black. I hate say you're a black male.
That's why I was just trying to throw that in there, in a very sneaky way.
You're trying to blackmail me?
Yes. So, anyways, let's get to. Should we get to our scenario?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should.
You want to do the honors?
It's been so long, so why not? It's been like a year since I've read. Okay, it says, dear Flawless in Asylum. Good morning. I need some advice and I hope you can help me. My boyfriend and I have been in a relationship for the past year and I don't believe he trusts me. He wants to know my every move and even gets mad if a male friend calls me. The funniest part is that I am so faithful and committed to him. I have never been as honest and committed to anyone as I am to him. Recently, a relative invited me to spend a few days with her overseas, and when I told him so, he started planning a trip around the same time to the exact same place. I'm going to spend time with my family and see no reason why he should come along since I'm always with him. Can't I have some time with my loved ones who I haven't seen in ages? I want to tell him that, but I don't want to hurt his feelings. Do you think I am wrong? Guys,
should I take a go at that really early or leave it for later? Because boy, I tell you, this really,
I don't know. Guys, we have a WhatsApp text platform open. The number is 7213303.
Yes.
Or you can call via our studio line at 458-2488. Yes.
Boy, you want to go on a vacation, but you don't want the man to come. I mean, I think if you're so in love with him or if you want him to trust you so much, that would be a vacation for two. I mean, why not want him to come along? That kind of ding, 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 ding for me. It sends the bell off, right? You've been in a relationship for the past year, and I don't believe he trusts me. Boy, trust is a very funny thing.
You're right.
And if you're moving shady, like wanting to go visit your family, if he can afford, and obviously he can afford to take that vacation, why not bring him along? I mean, now's the perfect time for you to let him get involved with your family, get to know your family. Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing, working towards?
Because I feel like it's too much. I mean, I don't think she would have a problem with it if he wasn't so, and I'll use that word, obsessed.
You think obsessed?
That's what I think
you
it is.
Obsession it is?
That's what I think it is. Yeah, like because he wants to know her every move. She even gets mad when male friends call.
Right.
And she's saying that's the most committed and the most faithful she's been in any relationship. But he doesn't know that. He's like, he doesn't trust her. He's basically obsessed. You want to know everywhere the girl going. The girl going on a little trip, you want to follow her.
So what's wrong with that? If you're in a relationship, what's wrong with telling him that?
Nope. With telling him what?
What's wrong with letting him know where you're going?
I don't see nothing wrong with that. But
what's wrong with inviting him along? If you feel that trust is the issue, right? He doesn't trust you. Doesn't it take some effort on your part to get him to trust you? And by doing so, you'll want to let him see that you're really there with him. You don't have nothing shady going on the side. All these things.
I get that, but I mean, if it wasn't an issue, if it wasn't too much asylum, I don't think our writer would even write to us.
Okay, but
I think she can do it, but there's a limit to everything. I think he's probably overdoing it.
My thing is though, doing everything in the opposite doesn't help the issue. Going on your vacation by yourself, all that, it's just gonna just make things worse.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you really value this relationship, I think you have to make effort.
Yeah, I totally agree
with that. If that person have insecurities, you really need to make effort to try to soothe those insecurities. People always tend to say, oh, you know, it's not me, it's you, because you're obsessed and you don't trust me. So but why am I not trusting you?
So that's the thing. What if you never give that person a reason?
But I mean, I can't see the way the mind works. And yes, there are odd times when you find people not trusting people for no real reason. But anytime you're in a situation where you have a relationship and one person doesn't trust the other, there's always a reason. There's always something underlying.
Could be because of the previous relationship.
That could be too.
Yeah.
Maybe that person is just saying, you know what, I'm here now. I've been through a lot, and I ain't gonna make that happen to me again.
Right.
So I'm gonna dot my I's and cross my T's. And by doing so, sometimes people can come across as excessive.
Right. Too much.
So you need to understand where that person is coming from also. What they've been through. What they've been dealing with.
As much as, but what if I never did anything to you? But so why do I have to pay?
So why be in a relationship where you know you're stressed because the person is not trusting you and all that? The thing is, if you don't make the effort to do something about it, it's not gonna go away. And totally chances are it might get worse.
I get that.
Sometimes we say, okay, well, I haven't done anything. But it's not a matter of what you haven't done. It's what you can do.
Right.
To change the situation.
True. I totally get that.
Love and care about that person and you want that relationship to work. We're not all perfect. We're not all perfect people. And when you find a partner who's fallen behind it, the onus is on the other partner to hold their hand and bring them along.
Right.
Don't drop them and push them back and say, hey, wait a minute, you don't trust me or you're stressing me out. And that's just say, you know, try to find out what the real reason is.
All right.
Maybe it's just something from their past.
And they haven't gotten over it.
Right, something that they're going through. Right now could be at work.
Right.
They're stressed at work, so it kind of spills over into home. You know, and talk. Sit down, find time. Babes, you know, I just get this feeling that, you know, we're going down the wrong road and I really want this to work. So what can we do to bring this back on track? If you care.
Exactly.
But doing things that if he already didn't trust you and you decide whether it's with good intent that you're going to visit overseas or not.
Right.
He already doesn't trust you. So you don't just pick up and say, well, my family, I'm going to go visit my family. You try to make it so it's maybe both of you go visit your family. If he wants to come along, if it's not a situation where he can stay at your family, because he's already booked to go there anyway, so he must be staying somewhere. And then you do your thing with your family, and then you hook up and still enjoy the time together.
I feel like I get where you're coming from, but I feel like when it's something like that, the point where I want some alone time with my loved ones, if I request that time,
why
feel like
why
you should
all of a
give
sudden
to me.
You need that, and why?
Because she clearly said that her a female relative, invited her to come spend time.
Right.
All right. So if I feel like I just want to go up there, you know, that's my people growing up and I haven't seen them in ages and I want to chill with them. I mean, you can come another time, but this is my time with them.
I get all that. But here's what. When you go and enjoy yourself with your family and do your reunion and everything, you come back home, problems bigger. Because now he's going to feel that maybe you went to do something that you weren't supposed to.
But
so
why?
Fix the problem at home. Fix it at home.
Well, I'm going to fix it, but he's not going to come.
Well, I mean, that's...
No, I just feel like,
I hope he's listening.
I tell him, you know, time to yourself is important in a relationship. It can't be just the two of you all the time. Right?
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, and I get you. Everyone needs their personal space.
Right.
But your personal space doesn't have to come in another border.
Right? Why not?
Here's the thing. If he already is acting this way, I suggest you whether have conversations or you find a way to fix it or just leave him altogether.
I get that.
Don't go away and leave the problem unsolved.
Because
when you come back, I guarantee you that problem would have festered.
I'm definitely going to deal with the problem.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
Because I'm going to explain to you that, hey, what you're doing is pushing me away. That is exactly what you're doing.
What do you consider pushing away? I mean, okay, so if you're in a relationship and your partner doesn't feel well, the partner is sick, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think it's in your best interest to try to help to get that person back to health?
Yeah.
Listen back to health.
But
at the same token, when the relationship is sick,
right?
You can't just simply say, "Well, he's obsessed," or he.
It's
he
not
doesn't
a relationship
trust me.
that's sick. It's his mind.
Right. Well,
he's mentally ill.
Then
That's what it is.
There's two things to do. There's one of two things: either you help him fix himself, or you leave it.
Right. I totally agree with that.
If you decide that you're going to add a third, which is continue on without doing either of the two,
it's going to be
more problems.
Yeah, I get that.
And too many of us do that.
That's why I feel like it's very important. Like I always say, get to know the person before you even jump into a relationship. Because again, people don't do that. People don't take time to find out what that person is really like. 5 months of dating. People don't do that. It's like a week of dating and they're already moved in.
Well, that's the other thing too. I mean, we have to be careful and get to know people before we really make that commitment.
Right.
And that's the thing, today everybody's in a rush. Nobody wants to take the time to do the little more important things.
It's so true. It is very true. Let me tell you, before dating used to be that big thing.
That just take a whole lifetime.
Let me tell you, you getting to know the person, and what's better than that? The mystery and everything, and you're going on dates and waiting for that first kiss. It's not even that anymore. It's meet, kiss, and then the dating coming after you.
Yeah.
And then the dating coming, and I'm like, yo, whatever happened to mystery, to getting to meet the family, to see if my mom will like you or your mom will like me,
right.
Dealing with the little dramas that come in with that. That there was so much fun in dating before.
Let's see
Just
if we can.
nothing like that again.
Let's see if our call is gonna work. We have a call coming in. Let's try it and see if it's gonna work.
Okay.
Good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Hello. All right. So, like I said earlier, we're having some issues with our WhatsApp. So, obviously, let me try to see if I can do it this way instead.
Okay. So,
good morning, caller. You live. Good morning. How are you? Caller, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Okay, welcome back, fellas.
Don't tell me that's what you called to say.
Good morning.
Don't tell me that's what you called to say.
No, that's not what I called. Okay, your situation. Well, to the girl, I don't think she's wrong. And she should be able to talk to him openly about what. Okay? I know she loves him and, but she can try talking to him about it.
Right.
But flags there.
Right.
He has some controlling behaviors and he also insecure.
Okay.
So I was saying that it will get worse, but I have a feeling he might, try to, like, if you see you try and play like he crying or or whatever. But I'm not telling her to break up with him. She needs to be careful. And don't be afraid to walk away if it comes to that before things escalate.
All right. So you don't think that? So you think that he's been excessive? He's been controlling?
Yeah, it sounds so.
Right.
Okay. Also, what I'm thinking too is what they need to do is get down to the core of what is causing that. Maybe it's a bad experience he's had, a past experience he's had, and he just figures, well, this time around I'm not gonna be caught in that situation, so I'm gonna make sure that I'm always checking to see what you're doing, make sure I always know where you are, kind of thing. Do you blame him though?
Okay, if she didn't give him any reason to behave like that, why?
Sometimes it's not the person that gives you the reason. It's your life lessons that gives you the reason.
Yeah, but do you see the thing is sometimes to put it on the other person. So we like to, whatever experience we have, we want to make the other one go through it, and sometimes that's not even the case.
Right. Right.
And I
so
agree
true.
with you. I agree with you. And a lot of times too.
For the plan, for the trip, if I was her, I did not invite you. I told you I going by my family. I ditching you and I go in November. I did not invite you. I ditching you.
Right.
But you think that's going to do you think, to me, if you have to go to that route, you might as well just tell mate that that's it between the two of you, because it's only gonna open a whole new can of worms.
I feel like I'm gonna do your things until you start trusting me.
If you cannot trust me, I tell you I go in by my relative. I might as well walk away. You don't want to trust me.
But that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. So you're gonna open a whole new set of problems, because now he's really going to be.
Well, so be it. So be it.
But that's not healthy. You might as well just walk away.
If Angie give me reason to walk away, no. If he gives me reason to walk away, I will. Because it's not making no sense. You will never.
Colin, let me ask you something.
I have to tell you, hey, babes, I go there. No, man.
I have a feeling this is a double standard happening here, because women always complain that men never tell us, or y'all never tell us where you're going. You don't tell me where you're going. You just up and you leave. You're all over the place. You're not telling me nothing.
That's not true.
But
That's not true.
that is so true. And then when a man does it, we're obsessed. We're over, we're overreacting. We're all of that. You there?
Nothing wrong in telling somebody you go in there. Yes, I'm there. There is nothing wrong telling you I go in there, or I go in there. There is nothing wrong with that. But when you go and plan trip the same time I go and meet my family, come on now.
Listen, wherever they're going, I'm sure it's a big country. Yeah, but but what was wrong? So what is wrong with? Yeah, but what was wrong with? Hey, babes, my cousin invited me to come to Dominica, and we'll take the trip, but hey, that we can't stay by them.
Okay. The man say he going wherever. He going to Dominica. The woman start doing the same thing. What will?
No, but
exactly.
No, but you see, this is not a man or woman thing. I'm just saying that maybe the invitation should have been extended.
I feel you, Asylum, but
because when you know the person already have trust issues and you don't extend the invitation, then you're sending up red flags.
That's true. That's true, but at the same
red
time,
flags. You're making him feel like, boy, you're gonna do your own vibe. You know. Because a lot of times. Well, yeah, because I believe that should be the due course. But here's the thing, he still doesn't feel that. It doesn't seem like she extended the invitation, because now she's complaining that he's gone and booked his own way there,
which is crazy.
So in my mind, she didn't extend no invitation to him.
Exactly.
And if she knows he already have trust issues, and you go and you go to a whole country for a whole 2 weeks. I go want to know what's going on too, eh? So why is it I can't come? And not that I.
You should try and work on his trust issues.
I think you should try and work on his head.
Those trust issues have to be worked on together.
Not necessarily. No. No, Asylum.
So you're saying that if I'm in a relationship with you and I don't trust, and you feel I don't trust you, that you don't have a part to play in trying to get me to trust you?
If I didn't give you a reason not to trust me, you're going to deal with your thing by yourself.
Life is funny. Life is funny. Do you want this relationship or not?
I don't did damaged goods.
So then you have no choice. Leave.
If I'm telling
Pack
you,
up,
I feel
put
like
my things in a garbage
I feel
bag.
like you should be
Things-
mature enough. You should be able to deal with your issue on your own. And
Show me a person, especially women, that cannot be considered damaged goods. Women are so emotional that the things that sometimes when you really look at some of the things that they hold strong to in terms of their emotion, right? Some of them don't. There's no real need for it.
Right.
When you're in a relationship, right? You get into a relationship with someone. I think the biggest problem is we don't get to know each other enough. Before we start talking about the wifey and the bae and the other half and we don't get to know each other enough. By the time we don't get our foot in there and people don't know that with that person, then we realize that person is so damaged inside emotionally. And instead of coming together, okay, you know what? This is what it is. Let us try and help each other work on our issues, because you got issues, I'm going to have issues too.
Right.
There's no two people in a relationship anywhere in the face of this earth that don't have issues.
And I get that. The
difference is how you work on those issues.
Exactly. Or if you let your issues affect your relationship.
And some people have a tendency to put their issues in the forefront and always remind the other partner about their problems, about what they've been through, and not thinking that, hey, you know what, but Asylum had issues too, he had problems too, so let's pull them together and try to fix them.
Let me tell you what I feel like. If you have your issues, first of all, I'm not going to date anybody I know that have some crazy issues. If it's something I know I can deal with, fine. If it's something obsession.
How do you determine though? Because
dating,
people vary, right? And what would affect you might not necessarily affect me.
Right.
You know, what experiences you have. Like, for instance, I mean, I could tell the whole world that, Flawless is a cool girl, and there are people who might tell me, Flawless?
Flawless? That is not true.
And they'll say what they have to say in Creole.
That is not true.
And you probably have done less to them than you have done to me. And that's just how we are. You there, caller?
What was I going to say? I just feel like if you're getting into a relationship, at least allow yourself to heal. And I always stress on that.
That is the problem.
Allow yourself to heal. Don't just jump from relationship to relationship. And you're going with each relationship you're living with a little bag of issues. And then you're going and download all your issues on your new partner.
What I find happening is when someone leaves a relationship, and if you leave a relationship, it means that it didn't work out. It wasn't working out. Exactly. People don't leave relationships unless if everything is going
People don't live good relationships.
Exactly. They don't. So there are people out there, men and women, that are sitting there, they're like snake in the grass, waiting to see a bad relationship finish. To come and try to be the knight in shining armor. Come and be the person on the white horse to save them. And then that person haven't really had a chance to really heal, get over the issues they were dealing with, and then all of a sudden, 3-4 months down the road, it all explodes.
Right.
And then you're hearing all kinds of things, I didn't know it's so, and this and that. We need to heal when we leave relationships.
Definitely.
Both men and women.
Definitely.
Because whenever we leave a relationship, a lot of us are bitter.
Yeah.
Depending on what happened, we're broken. And we need to find time for ourselves. We think that running into a rebound relationship or having a fling with somebody is going to help us get over that person. No. It's you, your mind, that has to work through that. Maybe some good friends to help to keep it busy and bring it back and bring it back to reality and let you see that life is really worth living.
Exactly.
And that's some good friends, I say. Not just all your friends, but any of your friends. Them.
The closest
because some
ones.
of them will see an opportunity to destroy you.
Exactly.
When you're weak.
Exactly. It's very important to allow yourself to heal, because anybody who gets out of a relationship, your mind, your heart is in a fragile state. Okay, it absorbs anything. And the way it reacts to certain stuff as well, like your mind, your heart, what you're thinking, what you're holding on to, your emotions, all of that. So it's very important to get over, to heal it is very important to get over, to heal from that from your previous relationship before you consider jumping into a new relationship. I, for one, like I always mention is that I was in a relationship where it left me totally broken. I felt like, hey, that was it for me. I felt like, because in the relationship I was in, I felt like I was ready to settle. I was ready to give my all. You know, I was seeing wedding bells and all of that. And I was ready. And it got to the point where the way the breakup happened, it left me vulnerable and broken, and I had the most trust issues. I trusted nobody. I didn't want a man to look at me and sit me. I didn't want to know. I started dressing like a boy. That's how much I didn't want anybody to trouble me. I was in that state where I knew I needed to heal. I didn't know how I was going to heal. I felt like I couldn't heal. But I took it one day at a time. It was a process for me. It took me about 2 years to totally get over my previous relationship. It took me about 2 years, and I mean, the 2 years was worth it. It made me strong as an individual, especially when it comes to relationships. I mean, there are other relationships like family and that you might not be your strongest, but when it comes to me and a relationship with the person I'm with, that is, I'm the strongest there. There is nothing that can break me, because I've been through too much, and I took time off to heal. I took time off to find myself. I took time off to just become a better version of myself, because don't get me wrong, I wasn't a perfect person in my previous relationship. So I decided to work on my issues. It was said very clearly what my issues were. I took time to work on them, to work on me, to become a better version of myself, so that the person I decided to get with after that would get a better version of me. And I just find like people don't take time out to do that anymore. It's always a rush thing. Just to post on social media, you know, bae, wifey, that's babes or hubby.
Yeah.
People don't care about dating and, you know, men wooing the girls, you know, if the roses and a little teddy bear, a box of chocolates. People don't do that anymore.
You know, even society itself has gone, you know, the opposite direction where these things are concerned. Things like chocolates and things, you really don't find them. You find a basic old chocolate on the shelf.
Once in a while.
Valentine's come around and you have all kinds of chocolate. Where do they go when Valentine's is not there?
I know this guy who sends his wife roses every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Just because it's Tuesday.
Yeah,
that is the most romantic thing ever. That girl boasts her husband all. Even if he cheats, she wouldn't care. You want to know why? Because she gets it good. Because he makes sure.
I don't think so. But I mean, the thing is, right? My thing is, though, Flawless, is when we consider ourselves to be in a relationship.
Right.
Or even let's just take our home, for instance, and this is what I always say. I always believe that your home should be a place that you get away from the rest of the world. When things don't go right at work, you know there's going to come a time in the day that you're going to be able to leave that and go home. Where you can just leave that behind you and throw yourself down in your couch or on your bed and just do you.
Right.
Your home should be the place that you have you feel safe, the safest,
definitely,
the most loved. Your home should be the place that you have the most excitement.
Exactly.
Your home should be the place that have the most of everything this world have to offer.
Right.
That's good. And our relationship is a major part of that home.
Yeah. I mean, it's not. A lot of people say it's not where you are is who you're with. Home is with you. People, I've heard people say that, and that's what home should be. Peace of mind. The person you with should bring you peace of mind, love. You know, just caring and all of that. And not stress.
Your home's supposed to be a feng shui.
Exactly.
Where you can just
the place you go to release your stress. Not to
just
get
go
stressed.
there. Don't get stressed. And I see too many relationships where sometimes, and in a lot of cases, people purposely go out of their way to make you miserable.
Right.
They'll say things just because they want a reaction from you that will cause a problem. How you call it a relationship?
It's a relation goat.
Donkey.
I always wanted to say
a relation donkey. I think we have lost what it really means to be in a relationship.
Right.
Relationship now is about two things: money and sex.
Yeah.
Whatever
happened to friendship?
You know, you're supposed to be, your best friend is supposed to be the person that you tell your deepest secret. How can you tell me that you're in a relationship with me? I'm your boo.
And you're hiding everything from me.
You're telling your friend down the road, who then tells everybody down the road, and that's why I hear it.
Right.
And I'm standing right here.
Right.
How can I trust you?
Right. No matter how hard it is, I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should be able to say what's up. I mean, to
take it for a grain of salt. Talk your mind. If something bothering you about the person, say it, and knowing that person is gonna examine himself, and instead of quarreling with you or arguing back, sit down and think about it. And then, you know what, babes, you know you're right.
Right.
I am stubborn.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. But then at least now you can help yourself when it comes to tuning your attitude to get rid of that stubbornness or to even minimize it.
Right.
To make your relationship better, or even just you as a person better.
Right. Let me say what I feel. To the writer, I feel it is very important to have a conversation with your person.
Mm-hmm.
Let your person know how you feel about the way he's acting when you have to do certain things. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like it's wrong. I don't feel like it's wrong for him to ask you where you going or anything like that. I mean, you should know.
But you shouldn't have to.
Well, because you should be able to just come and tell him.
You know, babes, and this doesn't have to come with all the details, babes.
Right, just say I'm going wherever.
And I could be guilty. I've been guilty all my life of doing that. You will feel that, hey, I don't need to tell you everything I do.
Right.
But you don't need to, but you should.
You should.
In a sense, because it brings a little tranquility to
right. And not just that, what if something happens?
What if something happens?
And I'm somebody, I get worried very easily, so I always want to know.
I have actually, you know, as you bring that point up, what if something happens? I've actually been in situations where they made a call, you know, your son, a friend of mine, was just injured in an accident. And the mother said, no, my son is not there. He's in the house. He didn't tell me he was going out. I was younger then. He didn't tell me he was going out, so he's in the house. That's not my son.
Right.
And yes, it is. The phone call came and called, and then she decided to go check for herself. Guess what?
You weren't there.
You weren't there.
Right. And I get that.
And that was him. So sometimes it's not even a matter of wanting to, you always want to know where I go in, or why I have to always tell you.
You never know.
You never know what's going to happen.
Right. That is something I always say. And even in my relationship, I'm like, yo, just tell me where you're going. I don't need to know the details. I don't need to know who's going with you. Just let me know in case something happens. I just need to know. You get me?
Here's the other thing too. I mean, we have to give it with a grain of salt. When someone comes to you and your partner comes to you and says, "Oh, babes, you know what? I'm gonna go with X, Y, Z, and we're just gonna line for a little bit." Don't smart comment. Oh, you're always there with them. No, just say, okay, all right, no problem. Have fun, be safe. I'll be waiting for you. I'm here.
All right. I mean,
even if you don't like it,
I do the smart comments.
What the smart comment does is that person now might have really honestly said, by 10 o'clock I'll be home. But 10 o'clock, 9:45 coming saying,
I haven't going home to that.
You know what I mean?
I get.
So you see, sometimes you have to give it for what you have to give it for what it is.
Right.
Even if you might not like the fact that the person's not going to be home on time, or the person's going somewhere that you really don't like them going, but they're still an adult, and they still should be able to make their own choices.
Right.
I
get that.
And when you throw a little wood in the fire, it'll burn.
Right.
It'll burn. So I believe that we have to check ourselves a lot too. Sometimes the way we respond to what is being said to us, right, even though we don't like it, you have to respect it. You have to respect it. I mean, it is that person's right. Whether they're with you or not, whether they're married to you or not, if that person decides, look, I'm going to go down the road, what can you do? I
mean, I would make my little comments. I sit down the road anyways. Do your thing. Have fun. Be careful.
But do you think that's, a smart...
I would still say something.
What about babes? Well, you don't know when you come back, your girl gonna be waiting for you. Wink, wink. Something of the sort. Make that person want to rush back home.
Right.
I have always found that whenever I get frustrated in a relationship, I don't want to go home. I find myself lingering all over the place. Places I don't normally go on Lime and all that. I'll find myself in those places because I'm trying to delay the time.
Right.
I'm trying to make sure when I go home, you're dead asleep.
Deal with.
You're dead asleep. Whereas, on the other hand, home is where I really would love to be. I believe in my personal space. My little home is, is my Idaho. That's the place I get away from the rest of the world.
Right.
That's the place I can go home and turn my phone off. And as long as I know that there's going to be no life-threatening situation that's going to need my attention,
right,
I should be able to do that.
Right. Definitely. But as I was saying to the writer, it is not wrong if he wants to know where you're going. What is wrong is if he's trying to find out details and asking you why you want to go this and that and that. That is wrong.
Right.
But him genuinely just being concerned about where you're going, because you never know, he just wants to know that you're safe. Right. That's not an issue. But if it's to that point where he's like super obsessed that he wants to know everything all the time, where you going, how you doing, then to me that's an issue. I feel like you deserve your personal space. As for him traveling with you, if it was me, I wouldn't have a problem. I'd really want you there. I would want you there, to be honest, especially to meet my family. But if you feel like, hey, that's a little time you get to spend with people you haven't seen in ages, and you just want to hang out with them alone, because there are people who feel that way. I just want to hang out with those are my relatives, you get me? I just want to be there. We've only been dating for a year. So if I feel like
they obviously live together, so I mean,
as much
they're building, right?
As much as, but you never know, and it could be it's because of the way he's behaving. She doesn't even want him around them yet, because she's probably unsure of if she's even going to stay with him. Because if you already behave in that way, I don't know what extreme it is, but if you already behave in that way, I would be I would be thinking twice about our relationship as well.
Right.
If you don't want him to come, don't let him get on a plane and follow you and all of that. Just tell him, hey, babe, you know what? I feel like I just want to spend some time with my relatives. You can come on the next trip, but can I please have this trip to myself? I just want to be with them. I haven't seen them in ages, and I just want to spend that time with them. You get me? I mean, if he loves you like he should love you, I don't think that would be an issue. I hope it's not an issue. But yeah, communication is key. And just talk to him. Tell him what's up. Tell him what's on your mind. I mean, don't hold those things in a relationship.
And don't just do it in an argument.
Right.
Find a peaceful time.
Cookie's favorite meal.
No, I don't believe in bribing either. I believe this is how I would handle a situation like this. You wait until the day is done and you guys are nice and calm, getting ready to go to bed, and you say, "No, babes, you know what? I want to ask you something. I want to talk to you about something." Right. And look, I don't want this to be an argument, right? It's just that I have a concern or something I've observed. And I think maybe as the person that you're with, the person that loves you, that I need to tell you what I've noticed, right? I think that you're not giving me a fair chance. I think that you're not trusting me. I believe that you don't trust me.
Right.
And if there's anything that I'm doing that makes you feel that I'm not you're not able to trust me, let us discuss it now and talk about it. You might have to put it in your little sauce, your own little gravy, to get it across, depending on the type of person that you deal with.
Right.
But what I'm saying is we need to break it down and talk about it. I hate to go to bed with an argument or with anything unresolved.
That's the worst thing, I can't sleep. I toss in until the night. Best believe you're getting a lot of blows too. I set my arm on you.
If you ever end up in a relationship with Asylum and we have an issue, don't go to bed unless we deal with it.
Exactly.
Because first of all, I'm gonna wake you up because I'm not sleeping, and a lot of people don't like to be woken up in the middle of the night to address these issues, right? But I believe that, you should on a daily basis. Look, if we cannot try to fix our relationships, what else in this world can we fix?
Exactly.
Because our relationships are supposed to be closer to us than everything else.
Exactly.
You can't be the big boss at work, or you can't be the super secretary at work, or the best bartender at work if you're having issues at home. It affects you.
True.
And you can't go to work. A lot of times we find advice to give to other people to help them to solve their issues, but we don't even want to take the time to visit our own issues in our relationship.
Right.
So I believe that yes, it does come across as him being a little excessive,
obsessed.
Well, obsessed if you want to call it that, but
could be
again,
because she didn't
needs
go into
to
all
question
the
herself
right.
and ask herself, why is he being this way? Whether it's something
right.
that she created
right.
or
did she meet him like that,
right? Or something he came into the relationship
right,
with.
right.
And you know what? If it's because his last relationship or 3 relationships down the road, he was with someone who cheated on him and all that, you have to reassure him that that's not me.
Exactly.
I am not like
but
that.
But the thing is, what if you've been doing the reassuring and it's like it's not working?
When you're climbing or when you're on this road to life, it never ends. You keep trying and you try different ways. Old people always say, if you can't hear, you will feel. So if you can't hear, show it to him. There's nothing wrong with that. If you value that relationship, a relationship is a work in progress. It's a work in progress. You should always be working towards making your relationship better, no matter how good it is.
Yeah, but wow, that's a whole job.
But then, if you're not committed to that, how can you be committed to anything else? When you go to work, you want to be the best employee.
Let me tell you, I'm
the best boss.
Let me tell you, Asylum. When it comes to relationships, I'm very simple. I don't like stress.
Okay. Let me ask you.
You see the relationship that's supposed to be no.
The thing about it is,
I disagree
all right,
with that because where's stress coming in?
But you know what? Life is stressful.
Life is stressful. My relationship shouldn't be stressful. But that's why I'm dealing with the stress of life in my relationship.
You're a tough one, boy.
No, I'm telling you.
The thing is, though, down the road, you're back in a relationship and it's the same cycle that's been thrown at you.
I'm out.
Then you're going to start over again.
It's not a problem. So I'll stay by myself. No, I just feel like, Asylum, I'm being dead serious with you. If I have to be in a relationship, threatening, if it's not going to it could be the weirdest thing, the simplest thing. You want to make a big issue out of that.
Some people are like that.
I snoring loud.
Some people are like that. Okay, and that's the thing about us. That's the thing about us human beings, is that we are so bigger and everything else, and you for 2 words and they bite the bait and you hook up. But do you really get to know if that person really is who you want or what you want in your life? Most people don't do.
Dating.
Most people don't do that. Yes.
That's what women do. That is so true. Sorry, ladies. Sorry. And talk about other things than be stressed out. Arguing over petty stuff, to me, that's not important. Why? Just so you can, make me understand you. So after I understand you, then what?
This out there. When was the last time you went in anywhere and came home?
I mean, we should be striving for it.
Why can't we strive for that? Exactly. This one says you are right. You should be willing to go as far as it takes you to get your relationship where you want it to. And when you have that mindset, you will realize that the distance will be a lot shorter than you think.
Right. Somebody said not his fault. He have a good woman. He know how to act. We
have to always be accountable to ourselves for what we bring into our relationship. Right? And if your partner has insecurities, you have to stop and ask yourself, what is it I am doing that makes him in? With everything else, I mean, you find the time to sit there on your phone for an hour chatting with your girlfriend, which you did whole day today while you were at work. Right? And I'm talking about your friend, your BFF. But